from PULC and Industrial Action, Deputy Education Minister in charge of secondary education, Seduchum, is asking senior high schools to remain open throughout this weekend to give students who are yet to register in their poster schools the opportunity to do so. Hundreds of parents and prospective first-year students remain stranded at the premises of the ministry amidst fears they may miss out on government's proposed free SHS policy, which is expected to start on Monday.
At this stage, this is where we are. Out of the 427,000 who qualify for placement, so far 310,000 have visited our portal and they've printed their application letters, their admission letters, ready for submission to their various schools. As we also informed you earlier on, there were about 156,000 students who did not get placement and who were going through our self-placement portal. Out of the 156,000, as of this morning, 110,000 have selected their own schools. That represents about 70,000. The day is still young. We are monitoring our platforms to see how things go. We are very hopeful that our students and parents will be able to select our schools of their choice so that by Monday they can report to those schools. At this point, what we are encouraging headmasters to do is that they should make sure their schools are open today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday for parents to go through the registration process.
Dr. Seduchum also says the funds for the free SHS program would be wired to every school by tomorrow.
I speak with you, funds are being disbursed to the various schools. It's being wired to their accounts so that they will get the amount that we agreed upon that they should receive before school opens. In addition to that, all that I will say is that I really want to commend our parents. When you see parents here this morning, that tells me, gives me hope for the country. It tells me that parents are interested in the education of their children, and that is why they come here. I have a parent who came here and said, I just need my student to be in a school, and that is what we want. Without students, there will be no schools. Without schools, there will be no Ministry of Education, and we will not be able to implement the vision and mission of this great ministry. We will not be able to make sure that students take opportunity and take advantage of our opportunity that has been presented to them by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
So that is the Deputy Minister there, but then assurances that they've been given has done very little in reassuring the scores of students who have pitched camp at the moment at the ministry.
When the results came out, I went and checked. They said I did not get the school. Later on, when I went, they said you should go and select a school from the net. So when I went to select, when the woman sent it, their thing has been cancelled. And I don't know what's happening. So later on, when I went to the post office, and they told me I've already gotten the school. The government have already given me the school. And the school that they gave me, Central Region, is a day school. So yesterday, my mother and I went there. When we went, the building is like uncompleted. And there's a river like beside the school. And there's no room for rent. Clay room. Clay, then they used to like build the house. And I can't go there. So I told my parents to bring me here so that we can change the school. Even my grades were changing. At first, when I went and checked, it was 19. Later on, changed to 27. Now 39. When we went and printed 39. What am I saying that 39 to? My parents have suffered and sent me to school. What am I saying that 39 to? If they did not help me, then that free SHS, then they should let our parents pay the school fees. If they paid, it's more better than what they are doing.
I've been here since 3 days today. Why is that? Is it only Accra? If somebody is from the northern region, there is no any head office there, only Accra. So you travel all the way from northern region, come here, and you will not be placed.
The school that they gave me, Central Region, is a day school. So yesterday, my mother and I went there. When we went, the building.
So that's obviously an aggrieved student there. Well, among the people who are stranded at the moment at the ministry are parents. Some of them have also been speaking to Justice Baidu.
Yeah, so about time about be school, ne bedroom or school, and then fin near man kitten, ama wabamu crowd, or shakra, and I just say, ama wabamu. May say me can crowd for sisters who would the 1 year no cry. Because a hard drink, send you panka or casa, must say on Casa, more be fair by Broco or more than a cotton, and I see Dimbo. I also come moon school. Nippons who are near moon school or near moon, but yes, a hard drink, pa. So be our new Munayaka say.
Well, with barely a week to the start of the flagship free SHS policy, the former Deputy Education Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa is predicting doom for the future of the program. The former Education Minister is insisting that the policy will not stand the test of time, and his argument is premised on what he says is the Akufo-Addo government's inability to find the financial backing for the program. In fact, he believes that the program is unsustainable. His doom prediction comes on the heel of complaints by heads of senior high schools that they have not yet received funds, despite assurances that those funds would be paid 2 weeks before the start of the academic year. Speaking to Raymond Akwa on our front, the North Dying MP said any attempt to continue with the program in its current form will jeopardize the quality of education in the country.
Has been done, but what is clear to me is that government is going to struggle to find the money for adequate implementation, proper implementation of free SHS. You need 600 million cedis a term. 1.8.
They say 400 million. They say by the second and third term, so there have been lesser than that because one of items that are supposed to be taken care of will be taken care of. How do you do a different calculation and still insist that the current government got the numbers wrong? They got the numbers wrong, and you can see already. And we are not the only ones saying that. The Ghana National Education Coalition has said that. Okay. The likes of Professor Odro at UCC have said that. And that is why if you look at the numbers are not adding up. The numbers are not adding up. They should tell us. So they will struggle with the funding. They will struggle with the funding. They will not be able to find the money, and that is why they will not be able to sustain it. You think so? It's not sustainable, and especially under the current circumstances, and if they want to just for political expediency do that, quality will have to suffer. They will not be able to maintain the science resource centers, maintain the renovation programs which we started, ensuring that you are recruiting teachers. As we speak, the vacancies for at least 17,000 teachers, at the second cycle level, which we got financial clearance for, and they are yet to recruit. So you're going to see a lot of things suffer in terms of even staff recruitment, in terms of textbooks, computers, lab equipment, reagents, and all of those things, because they want to say that we are implementing free SHS. You have the opinion it will suffer, but these are just things that already I'm aware that they have reached out. They have reached out to other donor agencies to come support them. Which institutions are we talking about? Because they are struggling to find the money here. I know they've reached out. They've reached out to the World Bank. I know that and then the World Bank had to even assist them with another $40 million under the Secondary Education Improvement Project. Pin up on this particular conversation. How did they make sure that this is sustainable? Abandon the entire project or retune it? Retuning and begin with a targeted approach. Go back to your plan. Target the vulnerable. So what is currently the case? They can't do anything about it. Target those who really need it. And we are going to... Are you insisting that what is currently the case, they can't do anything about it? What is currently the case? When you are saying that the only problem is money and government is willing to pump money into that area? Because you can find the money. I can assure you, Raymond, that we'll have this discussion again where they would eat humble pie and come to a targeted approach. This is not a sustainable option. And already you started hearing that they are not saying that old boys shouldn't help, old girls shouldn't help, other philanthropies can come on board and assist schools of their choice. We are going to come back to a more rational, sustainable, targeted approach. That is where we will get to. This approach is not sustainable.
Okudzeto-Ablakwa there with Raymond Akwa on our front. Now, away from that, let's look quickly at the situation in Togo. Now, a group described itself as Youth for Human Rights Africa is in the Volta region about the heads of senior high schools who have been meeting there on the back of the free SHS. Hello, Mauli. Mauli, if you can hear me, what's the latest? What can you report on the heads of assisted senior high schools who will be meeting in the Volta region?
Gifty, the heads of the various schools who are meeting in Ho are actually wrapping up their activities as part of their 55th conference in Ho today. And tomorrow they are expected to issue a communique outlining a number of issues regarding the free SHS and many other issues that have come up during the conference. And that would be done tomorrow when all of their views are collated today and presented to the media tomorrow.
Do we have an idea? Do we have an idea what would be with that particular communique that they'll be putting out there?
Well, the dominant issue which I'm learning is the implementation of free SHS, and that seems to have dominated their discussion so far. It has actually dominated the discussion so far, and during the visits of the Deputy Minister of Education and all other dignitaries yesterday, that was the main focus of all discussions during the conference. And so it's expected to be the dominant issue in that communique we are expecting tomorrow.
Have they had the finances, by the way? Have they said anything about that money? Because we understand that it was supposed to have been wired to them 2 weeks before the start of the academic year.
Well, that the Deputy Minister of Education, the person of Dr. The Deputy Minister of Education have assured them during that opening ceremony yesterday that they should expect that to hit the accounts of the various schools before the end of the conference. The conference is ending tomorrow, actually. And so all heads of the various schools should be expecting the monies for the implementation of the free SHS by tomorrow.
Okay,
because the conference is ending over the weekend, and the heads are expecting payment of the various amounts into their various accounts. He assured them that they don't need to follow up to take checks from the ministry, that the monies will be paid directly into the accounts of the various schools, and they should be rest assured that it will be done. My school is reopening on Tuesday, and so it must be done this week.
Thank you very much, Mauli. Well, that communique we're all looking out for, and by tomorrow we should have it.